Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley and I'm a disabled YouTuber who makes videos trying to educate people on disability, as well as talking about my love of fashion and interior design. And in today's video I'm going to be talking about what it's like dating with a disability. So let's just get on with the video. Dating is challenging no matter who you are, whether you're a girl or a guy, but then adding disability to it adds this whole other layer that makes it even more complicated. For me, I'm not only visually impaired, but also have right hemiplegia. This makes dating even more challenging, especially when we're talking about online versus in person, which is what I want to talk about today. When it comes to dating online versus in person, you may think one is easier than the other, but it actually isn't. Starting with online, you may think that this sounds super easy. You can just blow up the person's picture, you can read their bio, you can know right away what that person is like, you can kind of get an overall gist of what that person is like and whether or not you want to swipe left or right on them. However, there's a lot of challenges that go along with online dating versus in person, because online, once you do match with the person, a lot of the time those people on those dating sites are just looking for hookups, or if they do want a relationship, it's not what you're expecting, and that can always be really challenging. Sometimes I really miss the kind of old-fashioned dating that people used to go through, where they would meet at a university or in a coffee shop, because I feel like even though dating in person for someone like me is challenging, dating online comes with its own separate challenges, and you kind of have to play this long game and kind of figure out, okay, what does this person actually want? What are they looking for? Why did I match with them? And some of them turn out to be great gems who actually want a relationship and it works out really well, whereas others just want to hook up and will go on a couple dates with you, but if you're not willing to give them what they want, then they'll just ghost you, and that's horrible. Getting ghosted is definitely one of the scariest and most horrible things about dating online, whereas in person they're less likely to do that. Dating online is challenging no matter who you are, especially if you're disabled, because of that safety aspect. You want to make sure that you're totally safe. Some people will put in their bio that they are disabled, but this tends to draw a lot of creeps, whereas other people like me wait for it to come up in conversation. I'm a YouTuber, so I talk about disability on my channel, and that's often how I bring it up. But again, it's up to you and what you feel comfortable doing. Most of the time, when it comes to online dating with a disability, there are two types of guys you will encounter. The first type of guy is a creep. He will definitely take advantage of the fact that you're disabled. The second type of guy, you tell him you're disabled and he ghosts you straight away. But if you're lucky, you find that third guy who's totally accepting of your disability and super sweet and will take care of you. So if you find him, hold on to him, because he's special. But sadly, that guy is super rare, so when you do find him, you need to make sure that you really connect with him, because if you do, then that is awesome. But again, like I said, there are a lot of creeps out there and a lot of people that will ghost you because you're disabled. Those people are becoming less and less these days, but they still exist and they're still out there, so you do have to be careful, especially when it comes to online dating. And you want to make sure that the person is who they say they are as well, especially if you're going to meet up with them. There are just a lot of challenges when it comes to dating online with a disability, especially when it comes to your safety, so you want to make sure that you are totally safe. Don't put your disability in your bio unless you're willing to talk to a couple of creeps, but make sure that if you do, you're really careful about who you swipe on and what they are actually looking for when you match with them. Also, make sure that if you don't put it in your bio, that when you do talk about it, you bring it up naturally and the guy seems to be okay with it. Because even though there will still always be creeps out there that are going to take advantage of you for being disabled, or people who will ghost you when they find out you're disabled, there are also a lot of great guys that will accept you for who you are. Even though those guys are really rare, they're becoming less and less rare, so make sure if you find one, you hold on to him, and if you do lose him, you just keep looking. I know it can be really hard sometimes, getting ghosted, feeling really insecure, but you will find that person. Even though I'm still looking, I really want to help you guys out as well, because I know that no matter what type of disability you have, dating online definitely sucks sometimes, and I want to give you some advice that I think will help you when going forward, whether it's dating online or in person. For me, my best advice I can give you for dating online is don't put your disability in your profile. Get to know the person first and then bring up your disability, and if they're accepting of you, great. If not, there are other people you will find who will be accepting of you, I promise. Moving on to dating in person, this is the one I still struggle with so much because I never know where to look to find that person. And like I said, when it comes to dating in person, I never know how old the person is or what their personality is like or if we'll mesh. And that can always be really scary, especially when it comes to putting yourself out there. Dating in person these days is really hard, no matter who you are, but especially if you're disabled. For me, my best advice I can give you is if you are part of a university or a group or a club, try to meet someone through there because they're more likely to be your age. Or if you go to a coffee shop, maybe try meeting someone there and just kind of getting the courage to talk to them. If you're an introvert like me, I totally get why that is totally terrifying. I actually asked out a guy in the movie theaters once. I watched him a couple of times and kind of got the courage to talk to him. I had a brief conversation with him and it didn't work out, but at least I tried. I know it was totally terrifying, and that's always the fear of, being rejected, especially when you're disabled. But keep trying, whether it's online or in person. Just try your best to meet that person through a club or a university or through a coffee shop. If you're doing it in person, just get that courage to talk to that person. I know how scary it is, believe me, I'm still trying to figure it out, but I thought I would just give you a bit of advice and say, hey, I know how terrifying it is, but just take the leap. Just try to be more brave than I am and just walk into that coffee shop or that classroom and say, hey, I've been watching you for a while, I've been seeing you, I think you're really cute, would you maybe want to go get coffee sometime or something like that. And if they say no, then hey, at least you tried. And if they say yes, well, maybe that's the start of a relationship. Even if it's not, at least you went for it. When it comes to dating online, that's the same advice I can give you. Just go for it because you never know what might happen. Yeah, it's totally terrifying to meet up with someone in person, but just go for it because it might turn out really great. As long as you're being safe, that is all that matters. So as long as you're safe when it comes to dating online and meeting up in person, then just go for it because you never know what might happen. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, then don't forget to smash it a big thumbs up. Share this video with your friends if you'd like to. Also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!